So this is my podcast. So in the video, the video I watched is about Kandi Bennett and Mark Bennett. In the video, it says that Kandi shot Mark multiple times as an act of self-defense. But so in the video, Mark is labeled and showed to be a abusive husband and everything like that. Okay. So in the backstory of it all, Kandi was in the garage. She thinks that her husband's like cheating and everything like that. So she wants to go check in his car. Well, she turns off the garage camera so he can't watch her. And she goes to his car and starts like looking around. Well, she finds a gun underneath one of the seats, and coincidentally, Mark came home, sees her there. He's like, the last thing he said to her is like, I had it right here. He said, "I'm going to kill you." So he had, Kandi says that he has a shovel and he's like, not marching, like advancing toward her, aiming for her head or something like that. And so that's whenever she shot him, like multiple times. People are saying that she did it on purpose, like she planned it, it's premeditated, but they're trying to get her to where it's self-defense, because he was trying to, kill her. Mark was very abusive, but he was also like he kind of like stalked her. He followed her accounts, basically checked her Google Drive to see who she's been talking to, what she's been doing, where she's been going, and it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird. Mark, he's threatened to kill her kids, everything like that. There was there was one witness. He was on the, Paul, which is Kandi's ex-wife. He was on the phone with Kandi whenever it was happening. So he heard it. He heard it, and Kandi was told him on the phone, she's like, "Hey, I just shot Mark. He was trying to kill me." And so he heard it on the phone. And then, as another witness that could testify would be Mark's ex-wife. His ex-wife she was scared for her life. She pulled out a gun on Mark too, and she was also heavily abused by Mark. So that was one thing that could go very good in her trial, was that she was also abused, so it would count for self-defense towards her trial. So they gave Kandi a plea deal saying, you won't have to go back to jail, you're just gonna be a convicted felon and you're on probation for 7 years, because they caught her with narcotics, and she said Mark forced her to take the drugs, but technically I feel like you can't really force anybody to take drugs. That's how I see it, but she got caught with drugs, so that's an added 2 years onto her plea. So they said, "Hey, you can be a convicted felon for 7 years on probation, or you can do the trial." Well, in the end, Kandi decided to do the trial, which was, she pleaded guilty, and this is where I'm like, maybe I feel like, and this is my opinion, I feel like she shouldn't have. I feel like she was playing the safe way, because it's like, hey, you're not going back to jail, you're just going to get probation. But I feel like she would have had a better shot at a trial, because the ex-wife could have proved it too. There was a video where Kandi was showing her bruises. Even though she turned off the camera to the garage, I feel like she was doing that so Mark wouldn't watch her, because he watched her every move. So I feel like if she did the trial, it would have been better, and that she probably wouldn't have gotten probation at all. I feel like she'd just been free. But it could have been. I feel like that's what it could have been. But she probably played the safe way, so where she knew nothing bad would like happen back to her, in case the trial didn't go right.